I think when I held it up, like this one refocused just fine, but when I held that up, it didn't refocus. That one was just blurry suddenly. But okay,
Weird.
anyways.
I don't know.
But take a
Dude,
peek,
thank
take
you.
a gander at that there, Joel.
Thank you, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you. I do.
Solo's souped up spaceship.
Yeah, I don't know if you listen to vinyl records so much, but I thought honestly, even if you don't have a vinyl player, it's such a cool thing that you'll appreciate it
I
anyway.
still got a vinyl collection.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
glad.
cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, but I thought, well, it's still the cool thing that looks good on a wall,
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah.
And I knew you'd appreciate
No,
one way
I've
or
got-
another. But I'm glad you can listen to it. I was hoping.
I've got like the Thriller album with like.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
The open. Yeah.
The gatefold.
Yeah, the gatefold.
Is it the one with like the actual picture of like MJ on there too? Is it
Yeah.
like the picture? Okay, I have that
yeah,
one
it's
too.
got and then the actual vinyl is in a sleeve with all of like the songs and stuff on it. And stuff
Oh
too.
yeah. It's got like the printout of like the lyrics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
it's
cool.
really awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then I've also got the 25th anniversary like stamped edition.
Oh,
Too,
cool.
with like the image stamped on it.
Mhm.
So with the
Yeah.
25th anniversary image on it and the original image on the other side. So,
Oh,
like,
that's
on
sweet.
the vinyl itself. It's
Yeah,
really
it's a
cool.
picture disc, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that's so
and
cool.
the Bad 25 album, I have that too.
I need to get Bad still. I still don't have Bad.
I've got episode 5 on vinyl.
Oh,
as
really?
well. Yep. So Empire Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this one's cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I was out doing
Thank
some
you.
shopping. Like, oh, I'll find something that Joel will like, and
That's
I
awesome.
spot it. I'm like, there it is.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Let me know how it is. I have not personally gone to listen to it yet.
That's perfect.
I'm sure you can find the whole thing online too versus vinyl. I'm sure everything's
Right.
on. I mean, everything's online nowadays, but I
Oh,
thought, oh, what the
everything
heck?
is, yeah.
Let's give this a shot.
That's
and I
so cool. I'm
thought it
gonna
was
set that
super
right in
neat.
the
Yeah.
center there.
let's do that.
Do this for that.
Yeah,
angle.
there we go. Look at that. Hey.
Yeah. Oh man. All
There you
right.
go. Sponsored by John Williams. No, we're not. But if you want to, John,
Oh
you
man,
sure
we're
can.
gonna get so copyright striked.
Because I mentioned the name John Williams. Is his name copywritten? now?
Sponsored by John Williams.
Is that how that works? Do you just say sponsored by and then you just get sued by people now?
I don't know.
Is that how that works? I don't know how it works.
I was just joking anyway.
Okay, well, if John Williams wants to spend the time suing us, he has the time to sponsor us. So, John, I'm just saying, let's make a deal.
Yeah, take that money you were gonna spend on a lawyer and just give it to us.
We'll just sue ourselves.
Exactly.
We'll just sue ourselves.
it's
It'll
fine.
be okay. In fact, actually,
See?
if you hate this show so much, just pay us and we'll never make it again.
Consider us ourselves sued.
We're sued.
There
We're
we
out.
go.
We're gone.
I like it.
Also, thank you for your work, John.
This is probably the most chaotic opening we've ever had.
I wasn't sure if this was going to actually be the opening or if you just cut this and this would be like a funny thing
We
later, but
could
this will
probably
be the
just cut
opening.
it. Doesn't matter to me.
Matter. We can do what we want. Anyways, Joel, welcome to another exciting episode of Jedi Knight Life. Actually, the first one, technically, in this
Yeah.
grand journey that we're about to embark on, where we're going to review all of the Star Wars movies that actually exist.
Yes, only the ones.
Only
that
the
exist.
real ones.
Yeah.
Only the real ones.
Yep.
But because there's a lot of weird fan movies out there that people keep talking about, like they're good or
I would
that
just
they
like
exist.
to. I
and
would
they're not
also
real.
like to take this as an opportunity to say Star Wars is finally free.
It is. Yes, Joel, why don't you explain that for the good folks? This will probably
Oh.
coming up a little bit after the news is out, but that's okay. Let's just explain it.
I might make some people mad with this because I do know some people that really like the Star Wars movies that don't exist. But anyway, for those of you that don't know,
Mhm.
for the longest time, ever since Disney has owned Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy has been the head of Lucasfilm. So not just Star Wars, but basically Star Wars.
Also influenced Indiana Jones as well,
Yes.
and whatever other properties they would have in there.
Yep. But Lucasfilm as a whole, she has been the head honcho of since Disney has owned them. And let's just say she has done everything to run the franchise into the ground.
Mhm.
Just made everything just like not to get political with it on this right now, but there's SJW just
There's
propaganda
definitely
everywhere.
an agenda. And we have to just be honest about these things. When a franchise puts a political agenda above the art
Yes.
and the actual fun of the story, it's obvious.
Yes.
And the usual suspects get mad at you for not liking it. But entertainment is meant to be just that, entertainment. It can
Mhm.
have a political message. I mean, Star Wars certainly has a certain political angle to it,
Mhm.
but it's open enough for interpretation to where I think that's part of its appeal that, okay, yes, it's against like tyranny. It's
Yes.
against You could say imperialism, though the expanded universe sometimes make the Empire look way too cool. Yeah, like, yes, but that's the thing too, right? Is it's a large, expansive franchise that maybe some days you could argue that in certain stories the Empire maybe was a little bit better than, it was portrayed in the movies. But that's what made it fun too, is that you showed different angles of the society. But there was still this overarching theme of like, yes, we want to restore the Republic and we want to do this. And, there's obviously a bent there, but it's so broad, right? And it doesn't feel like it's insulting anybody that disagrees per se. It feels more like you're trying to get you to see things from a certain perspective, but also enjoy a story. Yes. And that's what's been lost, is that nowadays, I say nowadays, this has really been going on for almost it feels like multiple decades now, but really the past, ever since the landmark year of 2016 for a particular reason, there's been this beating of the public with political messages and entertainment. And clearly so many of these things have failed. And they only appeal to a small demographic of, I'm just going to say, people really up their own ass, frankly. We're just being true.
Wow.
People really into that kind of thing. People who, like, the kind of people you ran into in college and you knew that they were only ever going to do one thing in life, which was complain. And I know I'm laying on a little thick here, but that's just true, right? It just is. It's just true. And finally now, hopefully, look, I don't know what's the future of Star Wars looks like, but
Dave Filoni is in it, though.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, hit, miss, I don't know what's going to happen. But I do hope that at least this can be something that is enjoyable for families across the world, for people who are normal, for people who just want a good, entertaining story about space adventures and sci-fi and all that stuff that wasn't, hey, what if it was all modern political allegory put into a fantasy land, and it's just this random set dressing for some loser living in, I don't even know if they live in Hollywood anymore, wherever these people are, to just kind of like, I don't even know what the word is like.
Well, and I mean, I don't even want to necessarily say that episodes 7 and 8 were, and not even 9 for that matter. Like there definitely was some messaging in there. Don't get me wrong. But
a lot.
But that wasn't my main issue with that trilogy. And this whole episode is not going to be just crapping all over Disney Star Wars. I want to make that perfectly clear.
Only half of it will be.
Yes. But my major issue with it was that it was just so disjointed.
That's the other thing too.
When episode 7 first came out, I did thoroughly enjoy that. Like
As did I.
It was a rehash of episode 4. I admit that too.
Oh, yeah.
But it was enjoyable. I liked what they were setting up. I had a little bit of my issues with Rey being able to take on Kylo Ren like so easily without really any training whatsoever. But albeit, then episode 8 comes in and it was almost like a pissing match between directors.
Yes,
it's like, why not have a story written from episode 7 through episode 9, and then if you're going to have different directors, fine. But no, when you have a director write and direct a story for one episode and then have another director come and write and direct a story for the second episode, it's like, oh, okay, I'm just going to shit all over what this director did over here.
Yeah.
And then you have that same director come and do the follow-up to that, and he just tries to do the exact same thing to the previous one there, which makes it worse almost than, well, it does make it worse than the one that did it to him in the first place.
It just got perpetually worse.
It does. Episode 9 was the first episode that I've actually left the theater pissed off the first time, and that's the only Star Wars ever that I've only seen once in my life, and I don't want to see it again.
I'll be real with you, I never even bothered with 9.
I did, and I wish I didn't.
I saw 8, and I had the experience kind of you had, where I literally, and my friends who were there can vouch for this too, that I remember seeing that and thinking, this is the worst thing I have ever seen. And I went out of the theater, and after, like, because, okay, I know we're talking about the Star Wars movies that don't exist now, but basically, I literally went, you know what? If we took all the things from the prequels that people said were boring, right? About, like, all the political intrigue and the running of the galaxy and, like, the tax code or whatever people are talking about, which I know doesn't really feature in it, but you get what I mean. People kind of memed it as, like, it was all Senate hearings, even though it's not true. But I literally told my friends that I don't care what the next movie is at all. I want no adventure. If this is their idea of fun and adventure, I want none of that. I want the most boring Senate hearing. I want absolutely no fun. I want this next movie to be a day in the life of running this awful galaxy and trying to figure out how you get all of these systems to agree on anything.
Yes.
I want a political, pen pushing drama. It could be a dramedy for all I care. I want just a bunch of overworked office clerks as the main characters.
Oh man,
and that would be more fun than this movie. That's because there is no fun to be had in episode 8. None.
No,
there's no fun. It's anti-fun.
Which is crazy because I did enjoy it when I first saw it.
Oh,
I'm almost ashamed to admit that, but I was.
Opinions change.
When I first saw it, I loved it, actually, and then I went back to see it in the theater again. Didn't like it as much the second time, and then the third time I saw it in the theater because I'm like, I kind of had some issues with it, but I want to go
3 times in the
theater. I saw it 3 times
really?
in the theater.
I mean, that's a pretty fair shake then.
Yeah, that's
right?
a really fair shake. I hated it more and more every time I watched it. It was one of those type.
Yes.
Like I so much to the point where I can't remember why I loved it in the first place. You know, that's the crazy part. And no, I didn't go watch a bunch of people poo-poo all over it. No, that was genuinely me just like, hey, I love this movie. I'm going to go watch it again.
Yeah.
And I saw it again. I'm like, I have an issue with this and this and this and this and this. Huh, okay, I'll watch it again. Okay, I hate this. You know, that kind of thing.
And that's just your natural opinion evolving,
yeah.
right? And my experience was, I've only ever seen it once. I have not gone back to watch it, but I remember that movie very well. It is at least in its own sort of way memorable. But I don't think that something that's memorable is inherently good or quality, because I remember a lot of awful movies and things that I wish I hadn't seen.
This whole vent session will probably be clipped and put somewhere else in this episode. In all honesty,
we'll probably move this to the middle.
Yeah, the one thing I do want to say before we do move on to actually an intro and everything here, is that you mentioned the Senate hearings being something that you actually want to. It's very funny that the 2 seasons of Andor, right, the series. Season 1, man, I have my issues with it. It's not it's terrible, but not peak cinema by any means. It's whatever. Season 2, much better, but some of the best sequences from that show was Senate hearings. That sounds like it doesn't bode well for that show, but honestly, season 2 was pretty stellar. And yeah, the best scene from that was a speech from the Senate.
Well, the thing about this, right, is that we talked about when we were starting this little vent session, which I appreciate that term, but when people complain about Star Wars today, not even complain, when people rightfully criticize Star Wars in the modern era, they always bring up that, yes, it does have a political bent, but also that it's boring. And the funniest thing is that if you want to have this political drama and this bent to it and you want people to think a certain way, why would you not have Senate hearings, right? Because think about this. Think about in the sequel trilogy, right? Sequel trilogy, it's not real. But in these movies, right, it is so hard to tell what the actual stakes are, what is happening in this whole galaxy, what the New Republic is, and then why getting blown up matters at all, what the Resistance is, which doesn't matter, what the First Order is, which doesn't matter. And you think about it, throughout all of the original trilogy, there's not much of the politicking, but the very important scene in A New Hope where, the Emperor has dissolved the Imperial Senate. The last vestige of the old Republic's gone. Now you're up to speed. You get the stakes a little bit better now. You're starting to peel back layers.
Well, and they had a whole meeting, too.
Yes, there was a board meeting, and it was interesting, and things happened. You can do scenes like this that are very interesting. Again, one of the most important Darth Vader scenes ever is him choking out the dude, oh, you're hokey religion or whatever, blah, blah. He just chokes him. It's this technological terror. You know all the quotes. You know this. We're going to talk about this movie eventually. And then the same thing happens in the prequels where, yes, there's more of those politics scenes, but they're important.
They are very important.
And they matter for setting the stakes of what's happening. You see how useless the Republic is and how it's being subverted. And I'm still of the opinion that some of those scenes may have been written a little more clear. I don't think they're criticism-less. But overall, I think most of them are very good, especially in 2 and 3. As it went on, I think they got better, especially by 3.
Yes.
And, of course, there's the iconic line, "This is how democracy dies," to thunderous applause. You're seeing this society go through these different steps of decay and decline. And it's a political drama, and it has a certain message to tell you. And everyone who actually watched this movie and appreciate it, who understands what it's about, pretty much universally hates the crap that came later, and by that I mean the sequels, not because they didn't do that, because they did it badly. And because those movies feel like you dumped out a bunch of Star Wars toys together, along with a bunch of cheap bootleg toys of Star Wars that someone bought at like a Dollar General, and then you smash them all together, and like a 5-year-old wrote it. Like there's the structure, but it has none of the stakes or interesting elements that made it feel like you could always appreciate this movie. It's just playing with toys and setting scenes, and that's it. And it's, and again, I don't mean to necessarily deride everyone who's involved in these movies, because look, movies, especially nowadays, take a lot of people to make. I am sure some people worked very hard on those films. That still does not mean they came out well.
No.
I have worked hard on many projects in my life, and it's come out a bunch of crap. And I get sometimes that happens, sometimes it's bad luck, but it does feel like Star Wars specifically was almost intentionally sabotaged, not even by the actors or by the people making it, or even the directors necessarily. We can maybe debate that back and forth one day. We'll see. Hey, who knows? But the actual corporate entity that was running it had no appreciation for what it owned, what it stood for, what it meant to anybody. It was either a giant cash grab or their new political vehicle, which they threw away as soon as it didn't matter.
Yes.
So that's my entire take on the sequels, that it is just bad writing. There's no plan. And of course, they push the politics first, which, you know what? If you're going to do that, at least write a good story.
Yeah.
At least write good propaganda, crying out loud. Like, people love good propaganda. Actually, we don't want to admit that, but people love it. There's a reason it's existed for so long. You can't even do it right.
100% agree.